Hi everybody, this is Cindy over at paper.old.new. Remember this guy? I told you it was going to be after Halloween when I got it done because I was very slow about it, but I figured since you came with me for a couple of videos, I would go ahead and show you now that it's done how it looks. I did end up taking a signature out, so it only has two, and look how fat it is. So and you can see here that my second signature, I dialed it back some, whereas my first signature is very thick. So my learning curve is definitely visible. But I just figured I'd take you along for the ride. So this is my very first journal, my very first little golden book journal, all the way around. And she's fat. I added rickrack. I had mentioned I was going to do that, and I put some grommets here to tie it closed. Now, I will say this: when I made the ties, I made them too short, so I used the piece that I cut off here and glued it and sewed it here. It's very stiff, so it sometimes gets caught in the bow, but I actually like the way it turned out. It's kind of old, tattered, repaired, like the town. But anyway, so I added that rickrack, and I'm hoping that will help with some reinforcement. This was the tag at the front, so a little bit of journaling space. Tucks under the thing, the little gravestone that says "Join Us" as a greeting. And we have a couple little decorative cards there in that front pocket. Now, I hear a lot of people always talking about how they overthink things. Oh, I definitely overthought this. There's our spiderweb window that we've seen, and here is the back. I didn't really change anything or add anything there. A lot of this will be like you've already seen it. So like my little corner flap here for the torn page, a little fabric flip that covers up some journaling space, this little cluster, and we had this card, which everything seems to be holding up pretty good. So I'm happy about that with all of the abuse, because Lord only knows how many times it's fallen off of a shelf or gotten dropped behind a table or something of that nature. I did record an in-between video between this one and the last one that was up a while back, but it still had that center signature in it, and I decided not to run it because I took that center signature out. I did, however, use parts of the signature in here. So like I took it out, but I used some of the things that were in it. These are Halloween printables from, I finally figured out where it was from. It was Printably, so with two E's on the end, like printable with two E's on the end instead of, and they have some Halloween stuff on their site, so that's where I got some of these pumpkins, this guy, these. So some of that stuff I said I couldn't remember in the previous video, I finally found it. These were from Graphics Fairy and Raw Pixel. So, just maps for their journey. And then the tag holds the envelope shut. And then there's our pumpkins with our little place. And this is just a spot for, somebody to put whatever they want, a picture or whatever. My little spiders, a couple of little tickets I made, 31 and 13, just for fun, and then they have writing space on the back if you want, and they just tuck down in there. And then this guy, and I tried to cover the backs of most of these cards with something for you to write on, because I don't think I left a lot of pages with writing space. All the pages are for the most part decorated. So we've got tickets in there, and then this flips up. So that was kind of fun. And then here is, oh, this keeps, gotta be careful. Maybe should go in that way, I don't know. But this is a little ruffle tab. And then on the back there's a little pocket with a tag in it, which is what kept getting caught on the circles. And this is a Graphics Fairy image. These other things were from the kit, and the rest of it is scrapbook paper. So this is some napkin, and from the scrapbook kits, the Halloween scrapbook kits. This is from that Printably site. And then this guy here, that's a stamp. And then there's a little card up here. This is all from the Halloween scrapbook kit stuff and some stickers that I had. So, and here's this fold out. So it folds out that way with a little writing space here, and then this way, a little writing space here. All this Halloween paper I was trying to use did not lend itself to journaling space, so I ended up having to like add it with the cards and the tags and stuff. This guy, this was a really neat video that E over at Scrapbooking with Me did that I had a lot of fun doing. But it's an envelope, and for mine I put this pocket on the front, and I put a belly band on the front of the pocket which tucked this little tag, this little card in. And then here's like a little tag and a little bookmark with a place where you could put a note of some sort or quote or something like that. And then this is hidden. So the envelope, you cover the outside of it, and then you cut the top off and you put a card in. This is envelope also, the end of the envelope, and you tuck a card up in there, and then you can slide it down inside the envelope. So you can see the security envelope in there, and you slide it down in the envelope. This was really fun to make. I'm going to make a bunch of these, I think, like a mass make. So I want to thank E for putting that video out there, because this was a lot of fun. I liked it. Oop. And then these little bone clips. They actually came in a kit. It's supposed to be cats and dogs. So like the bones are for the dogs, and then I've got fish clips for the cats. That doesn't hold very tight, but it holds it in there enough, I guess. Okay, and then we get in here, and we've got a little gravestone for the thing, for the paper turner. Tab, that's the word I'm looking for. This is a pocket that Stephanie did in one of her Pocket Wednesdays. And this is just a journaling circle. It's curling. I don't know about that. Also feels like it's... I'm going to do a little repair, because if I don't do it now while I'm looking at it, I'll forget. It's coming up. There we go. Tuck it back in there. And then this is from that Printably site again. It's like kids' handwriting paper. And then I put extra space on the back, so nice amount of journaling space there. And then I've got this little altered multiplication card. I decoupage napkin to that. And then we have this little guy. That's just some coffee dyed scrapbook paper and stickers and whatnot. I added a spider to our spider web. Little piece of ledger paper. This is from Graphics Fairy. I just made a little bookmark out of it. I was practicing my stitching. This is probably the best stitching I've ever done, and it was a fluke. I haven't been able to do anything quite this straight again. So this tucks in this pocket, and then this flips out when you take the bookmark out. You have a little bit of space there. So, and then we have this pocket was glued down as a belly band. This is another one of those pockets that Stephanie did. And then this is a bookmark. This is another printable that I added some stickers to. I also modified it because I think they had words on these. It was a tag and a bookmark, and I think they had words on them, and I think I took the words off. And then this is one of that little book that was from the Dollar Tree. I had a pack of 8 of them, and I decorated the pages with stickers. I missed a couple, but And then this was from that kit from Party City. Just tuck him in there. Alright, and then this, we're at our center, our signature center, and I put little Rest Your Bones and a little ghost card that I had doubles of, and I pinched the strings between those. This folds behind the little pumpkin, and I've got a jar in here with journaling space. I know throughout me going through this, you guys have seen some of this, but these Eat, Drink, and Be Scary tickets or cards were on that Printably website. They had a bunch of stuff. I downloaded a bunch of Halloween stuff from them, and then just dressed it up. So he goes in here. They hold this flap down, and in this flap we have. I made this from the stuff from the Halloween kit. And then I have this little guy. This is from the Party City kit. There was the big haunted house that was never going to fit in a journal. So I cut pieces of it off and used it in various places. And this is one of the pieces. So I made a little bookmark out of that. And then these go in here, you fold the flap down, and these go in here to hold this down. Okay, sorry about that little interruption there. So we have the little felt pumpkin, and then in this pocket here we have a tag. He's kind of, this is double-sided cardstock, or double-sided, somewhere between paper and cardstock. You can see how floppy it is. And I added a label, and then I put a pocket on the front of it, and I have this little card here, just kind of fun. Some of these were pages that, like this page, I wasn't sure what to do with, and I ended up gluing it down to the page here and making a pocket out of it, just because I wasn't sure what to. Here's more of the ledger paper, and then this flips open. It has two pockets in it. So I have this tag with a pocket, again from Printably. The rest of this is scrapbook paper and Halloween kit stuff. And then another Printably card. Here is, I think these may be on Graphics Fairy. I'm not sure. This is a flip. So what happened here was I created this card, and then I flipped it over, and I created the other side, and then when I flipped it back over, I realized I had put them opposite. So this one was upside down. So I said, oh, well, if I make it a flip, when you flip it up, it'll be right side up. So it wasn't necessarily intending to be a flip, but that's how it turned out. Alright, and then we have this little guy who has, this is just one of those ghosts from that Party City kit, and then I put an extension on that page. I added some coffee dyed paper in the center of this. This was just a bat. And then I put the all the bat decorations and the ghost decorations. I mean, it's supposed to be a ghost town, and bats live in old towns anyway, so. This is a pocket, and then this is a half-page pocket. So there's a thing here. This I made from, this is from Graphics Fairy, and some music paper, and then you flip it over and it's journaling space. And then up here we have another altered multiplication card. So it has rub-ons and a napkin, and then just more stuff from, this was a web sticker I had, and the gravestones come with the Halloween kit. And then this is another one of those rub-ons, and I just put a tab on it so it'd be easy to grab hold of. Now, this had a thumb punch, but I didn't want to leave it plain, so I took a strip of these skulls, where with the thumb punch, the backs of the skulls would have stuck to the card. So I put some paper behind them, and it's the orange. It's different paper, but I didn't want them to stick to the. All right, so here we have kind of a library pocket with a front that opens, and inside here you've got these two little guys, creepy crawly. Okay, and they're tucked in this little slot. And then you could write on this. I mean, it's light enough, and then you just close that over. And it's got there's a tag in here. A Headless Horseman. And here's some more writing space. I did have some of these pages that I did leave. I was like, okay, I gotta leave journaling space. So I left these. I did a rub one inside this blank ticket or card. And then this one I had Eat, Drink, and Be Scary printed on it. And then I used this. This is not a belly band or anything. It's just a pile of candy. So some candy corns and this was a banner. It had these, and in between were little skulls. And I took some of the candies and I used them. In here I used one. I used this one just to glue down, and I used one further down as a belly band. Okay, so this was just a little bit of decoration, some pumpkins. We're getting into him explaining that the town isn't haunted. So I still leave a few haunted ideas just because it's the kids' imagination and it's a Halloween book. So I did leave some haunted ideas, but I started to lean more toward, you know, him planting his garden and stuff like that and living in the town. So here's carving a pumpkin, and this is a pumpkin. Some stuff from a printable I'm working on, and then this is just some of that ledger paper where I guess the ledger part bleached off or something. Some more coffee dyed paper with a scaredy cat. Another fabric flip onto the gold wood, and you could definitely write on here the wood is pale enough. This has got some lace. I don't think you guys saw this one before. So it's got some this lace. Let me see if I can lift it a little bit. It's got some of this lace, and then it's got a little piece of this lace, and then underneath is a little piece of the orange, and then a whole piece of the polka dots. And then I just ran it through my sewing machine and glued it down at the top. Okay, and here I put a little tab on here for just to flip it, but this is the deed of trust. So he's showing you a torn deed that says there's gold in the town, but doesn't say where. So, and then here this flips out, and then I added, this was going to be in the center signature, and I added it in, I took it out and I added it in here. It does add a lot of bulk because it's a lot of pages, and I have to remember to make these smaller. Plus I added some of these little felt owls to it, and there's another one. So, yeah, that was definitely a bulk addition. And then this pocket here, I added a card. This is one of the masterboard cards that we did, where I showed you the background with the strips. And then I took the back of it and kind of turned it into a faux postcard with plenty of space to write. And this is what I was talking about. Going on to the second signature, this is what I was talking about. I tried to lean more toward the vegetables. Now, I did make a play on candy. Because, of course, kids want candy, and mom's always telling you to eat your vegetables, right? And so I made a play back and forth between the wanting candy and eating your vegetables. So there's vegetables here with a little bit of journaling space. And then when you flip this over, you could write on the outside of this envelope. I just decorated it a little bit. But when you flip it up, there's a card in the envelope. Hang on just a second. Okay, sorry about that. You'll see I now have sleeves. My basement's a little chilly. So anyway, so this card comes from some Graphics Fairy printables. And I just added some lace and... Oh, and the back is ready to be... Now this one, this one comes out of its pocket upside down. And there's a reason. Because I put the ruffle on as the pull tab, and I stuck it on here because I didn't want it in the cat's face or covering up the little moon in the background there, and then realized that that's not the way it goes in the thing. So, I mean, I don't really mind that it goes in upside down. You still take it out of the pocket and turn it right side up, and it's got writing space on the back. So, we got the pumpkins and the owls. And then we close that down, and there you go. And then this is just some writing space. This is, here's where I talk about, because they're talking about planting his garden. So I've got, this is a seed pack that I found online. And then just some doily and, you know, other stuff. Some vegetables and pumpkins. Put a little tab on there and gave it some paper. Oh, and this opens. So this right here is a area to write on. And still, here's where we get into some of the candy stuff. So, yummy treats, buried in candy, you know, stuff like that. Little skeleton peeking out from behind the gravestone. And then, again, candy treats, and this goes down in this pocket. There's a little bit of space here to journal, and then this comes out of this bag with journaling space. I did not make this up, or did I? I did. I just didn't put anything in it. Look at that, guys. I forgot what I did. It's not really hard, actually, considering all the stuff. But there's a pocket there, so I guess if, you know, later down the road I want to find something to tuck in there, I can. But the bag has the card in it. And then here you can see the garden that he tried to plant and all the rocks, and they start helping him clear his garden. Here's some more Rest Your Bones. I just thought that was kind of funny since he's a little old guy and he's doing all the work and he lives in town all by himself. Here we have some more Eat, Drink, and Be Scary. And then this one, I Want Candy. I made a faux postcard out of it, and again was looking at the candy aspect of, you know, eat your vegetables, I want dessert. And here we have a crow on some crow paper. This is the lace, but I also put a little piece of ribbon here just to make the pull tab stiffer. That piece keeps getting folded up, so now it's stuck like that. And then on the back here, we have a flip up, and there's a pad here, and there's just a seed pack, corn, and some little cards from those Graphics Fairy printables. Here's two more. See, they're clearing out his garden in the story here. So here is, and I think they, yeah, brought tools and seeds. So here is some seed packs, journaling cards in a little tuck. I added this paper just tucked up under this ribbon, under this ruffle, so that there was a, you know, spot to tuck in there. And then here's the candy I used as a belly band. So we have veggies and we have candy. And then here again we have, this is the little headless horseman. I made a little tag out of it. It was the extra one that I ended up cutting off the end of that thing earlier. And this is just a carrot tag with orange ribbon at the top and raffia. And I have some carrot Grosgain, which I thought was really cute. So I stuck it on there. They hold down this little pocket, which has another, it says what a treat, and it's supposed to be candy, but it's veggies. And then this is washi tape. Okay, and then this up here is a card that I made. I left all the little stringies You could write on the front here, and then on the back she's picking apples. So, and I did some apple, I have some apple stamps and some red ink that I used for that, and then apple stamps in black ink for the red tape. Let's see, this goes down in here. I am practicing at sewing, just as a side note. See how the back of the fabric is, you know, you can tell it's the back of the fabric. I have experimented with making the piece of fabric twice as long, folding it in half, and sewing it down the middle, and then ruffling it so that both sides are, it makes a very thick ruffle, I will say that. Okay, here's that bookmark I was telling you about that went with that tag. And this one I did, you know, Witch's Brew. And here is another spooky tag, I think. Yeah. Cackling Witches, Hocus Pocus, and the little cat on the pumpkin. And then here is spider webs. And I got some lace and stuck it under that spider, kind of to mimic a spider web. I mean, I did want it to be Halloween, but in the same token, like I said, I overthought, guys, because my head kept saying, that's not what the story is, though. That's not what the story is. So here we have a little play on the garden signs here, just to decorate this page. There's some writing space. It's a candy corn sign. And here are some little cards, seed cards. And this is the middle of the signature, so here's some candy tabs on the strings, and again, I love candy. And this one's glued down as a pocket in the back, so we have too much candy and what a treat. Little cards. And then this is not a pocket or anything, it's just decorative. And then here, and then because he was growing, this plant here is corn, so kind of tied together, which is why there's a lot of candy corn in this section. Gold they found, so perfect pumpkin, I want candy, back to that, back and forth. And then here's our little, that's just to decorate that page. This is a card. I made a play on how they measure gold and carats. So there's gold paper and gold decoration and then carats, because they're finding gold. He finally found the gold, so. And then these are just some little, this one's just a piece of paper, and then this one I backed with the wood. So it's corn and pumpkin. Again, they're a very big theme. Again, I tucked some paper under here to make the tuck spot, because the ruffles aren't really tight enough to hold, so I gave him some help. And then this is a pocket. I made a big card. I really liked how this card turned out. I mean, she was gathering wheat, and I added the spiders, trick or treat, and I added the spider webs and the spiders, just because, I mean, that stuff lives in barns where you store, or silos and stuff where you store wheat. And then this is some ribbon I have that I just folded over, and I stuck the brad through one of the flowers and then through the cardstock, and then I glued the coffee dyed paper over top of the back of the brad so that it covers up the pin. And there you go. I like this card. This one was one of my favorites. And then this holds this flip down. So just some paper to write on right here and right here. And then here's some more writing paper. And then here he is. He gives the gold to the old miner's home. And off they go. He just wants to tend his vegetable patch and live in his town in peace. And I found some of these, and I made this very interesting flip page. So this one flips up. There's some washi tape here, and you could write on that. This one flips out. Again, you could write on it, washi tape, and this one flips down. So, can you see all that? Can you see all that? That was kind of fun to put together. And then this is just decorated, kind of a collage of washi tape and stickers. This is a tuck with a tag and some tickets, corn and mushrooms. And this is from a little kit that I ordered over at scrapbookingwithme.com. Their shop. I ordered from their shop. It's a cute little kit. I've used a couple pieces, but I used that to make that tag. That's where that came from. And then, of course, I covered it with coffee dyed paper to write on. And there we are at the back, and finally, at the back, there's a happy little bat tucked in the pocket. And I added the rickrack, and again, I did grommets through both ends to tie the book together. So that's it, guys. My first final flip through. I'm going to be taking some time off from making a journal again, I think. I think what I need to concentrate on right now is mass making ephemera. I have nothing to work with. This journal, I think one of the reasons this journal was so hard for me to make was because all I really had was scrapbook paper and stickers. I had nothing made, no pockets, no cards, no nothing to stick in the pockets, nothing like that. So it was a slow process just because I didn't have stuff to reach from. I would like to build stash and do some of the projects that I've been seeing online. As a matter of fact, I've started doing some. And I can't wait to do it again. I had a ton of fun doing this. I will definitely be back to doing this. But that was my first one, guys, and now that I've done it and I know what goes into it, I'm going to get to work making stuff that I can use in future journals. Thanks, guys, for stopping by. I hope you'll come see me if I sit down and do some mass making and craft with me. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.